with the stories as is. And as I said, Melissa is one of the actresses on Country Queen. In case you haven't checked it out on social media, it is officially one of the biggest shows of Kenya. And especially for us as Kenyans, it is for Kenyans, by Kenyans, but on such an international platform that is Netflix. And everyone has been talking about it. People have been reenacting small parts of the conversations or the monologues that were going on within the show. It was trending for such a long time, and it still is. In case you haven't watched it, like myself, we should watch it because we've seen snippets and it looks fire. Watch the trailer, it looks fire. But Melissa is actually telling us that she was not going through the smoothest of times when this whole thing was going down. Her name on the show was Akisa, and she was one of the big, as we said, the very big artists on the show. Now, this is what happened. She found out she was pregnant days before the shooting began.
Wow.
She found out, this was back in 2020, towards the tail end of 2020, she found out she was pregnant, and this was a few months pregnant. We're not talking about like a week or so. A few months pregnant, so she was about to start showing a very short time after. So what she did was, once she figured that, oh yeah, I'm pregnant, and she was going towards the side of the directors and the producers to talk to them and tell them that, in her mind, she'd already come to terms with the fact that I might be dropped, they might recast, they might have someone else for this role, because I don't know how they're going to take me up as a pregnant woman on a show. You know how hard it is to cover up a pregnancy during shooting? It's a lot. And there are always points in which you'll see the pregnancies. In fact, even for many of our big loved shows like Friends and such, you find out that people were pregnant in between the shooting of the movie or the series, and they just found out very interesting, funny ways of covering up the pregnancies. Anyway, or even taking up that maternal leave that you normally get. You still get maternal leave, but during the shoot, they create an interesting scenario where you're not in the show at all. It's very funny how they do it, and it's very creative. But she says that the whole time, they were super supportive. She was a few months old, and she stayed with my mom, so the mom was also super supportive. And then she was asked how she lost the baby weight, and said that there was, because of the way the script is, there's a gap between episodes. It was so overwhelming. I was expecting to lose weight, but my body looked like, okay, sour. Every pound that I lost, I had to work for it. And we've seen this happening a lot with even like in a Jackie Matubia, who said she had to get the gastric balloon to reduce the amount of food that she eats so she can be able to get more roles in acting and suit better in some of the roles that she's given. Continues to say that at the end of the second year, I was like, is when I started doing acting courses. That's her explaining where she went to school. So she went to school in LA for economics, and her heart wasn't in it, so she started doing acting courses in the second year of it, and then finally ended up getting the role. She continues to say that I just love home, first of all, and I love my family. I am just a family girl. So I just like to be with my family until the day I die. I love being home. I love being Kenyan. I love it. I've been here for a while, and she loves it, and she doesn't think she would ever relocate from Kenya to anywhere else. And we're like, pops to you. So, in general, the gist of the story is she was pregnant during the shoot, and luckily she didn't lose the role simply because she was pregnant. However, they accommodated and reworked the script to make sure that she didn't have scenes where she was like outrightly looking at you in a bodycon dress, and you're like, oh, okay, that girl is pregnant. That's amazing. Imagine being in a situation like that, because I've seen a lot of people. In fact, even this particular station is very accommodating of that kind of a step. Remember when Joanne Murigibuni was pregnant, she shot up until the very end of her pregnancy when she really now had to go. And even when she went away for her maternal leave and came back, she still was taken up and life moved on. So have you been in a situation where during your pregnancy you felt like you were unwelcome for work or something like that?
Yes, and I have shared this with you before, where I got a gig, and it was an alcohol gig. It was an alcohol partnership, and I did not want to lose this because obviously pregnant women cannot be out here being seen drinking and everything. However, I had already signed the contract. I had already done everything, and the thing is, I was showing, but just a little bit. However, there was I could cover up, like I could wear like a peplum or something. There are different ways I could dress, and it would cover up everything. Anyway, I went for the gig. You could see me in pictures holding up the bottle bottle. Whole time I'm not drinking. Like nageuka na kunywa maji alafu nasema, yeah, cheers, whatever. Because at the end of the day, we have to get this bag, okay? Children are expensive.
They are.
Kwani hamjaona Rihanna aliye retire amerudi sasa anafanya kazi?
Imagine.
Wacha nikwambie, children are expensive. Once you start buying diapers and formula and sijui anga what, you're going to see the expenses. But I haven't experienced like a situation where I was accommodated regardless of being pregnant. I just felt like for whatever reason I had to be on the defensive. I had to be covering up for something. I had to hide the fact that I'm pregnant. I had to, you know, a lot of things so that I don't miss out on an opportunity. But I'm so glad and happy to see that worked out for them.
Yeah, it's really exciting.